knowing what to eat were enough, most of us would have solved that a long time ago. We read the books, we've watched the videos, we've memorized the rules. We know what's good and what's bad, what we should eat and what we shouldn't. And yet, here we are, still thinking about food more than we want to. Still starting over, still wondering why. Why something we understand so well feels so hard to live out. And that's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because information has never been the problem. Most people I talk to don't lack knowledge. They lack support, awareness, and a way to work with their habits instead of fighting them. Knowing what to eat doesn't automatically change what you do, especially when emotions, stress, and long-standing patterns are involved. Information lives in the thinking part of the brain. Habits live somewhere else entirely. That's an important distinction. You can know logically that a certain food choice would be better for you and still reach for something else when you're tired, lonely, overwhelmed, bored, or emotionally drained. That doesn't mean the information didn't stick. It means something else was louder in that moment. And food has a very loud voice when it's been used for comfort. This is where many people start to feel frustrated with themselves. They think, why do I know better but keep doing this? And question usually turns into criticism. I should be past this. I should have figured this out by now. What's wrong with me? I can't stick to anything. And the pain continues. Nothing is wrong with you. Knowing what to eat doesn't address why you eat. And without understanding the why, information tends to get ignored, not because it's useless, but because it's incomplete. Here's something that often surprises people. Habits don't respond well to rules. They respond to familiarity, emotion, and relief. That's why diets feel manageable when life is calm and nearly impossible when life is not, because habits show up when we're not thinking, not when we're standing in front of a spreadsheet making logical decisions. And most eating decisions don't happen at a desk with a notebook. They happen in real life, in kitchens, in cars, late at night, after difficult conversations, at the end of a long, long day. No amount of nutritional knowledge can override that by itself. Another reason information hasn't been enough is because it often comes with pressure. We turn knowledge into rules. Rules turn into expectations. Expectations turn into failure when we can't meet them consistently. And that failure usually sends us right back to the very habits we're trying to change. It becomes a cycle. Learning something new, trying to follow it perfectly, falling short, feeling discouraged, give up, start again later if you ever do. Not because you didn't care, but because information alone doesn't change behavior. What does change behavior is awareness. Awareness of patterns, awareness of emotional triggers, awareness of timing, awareness of the moments when food becomes something other than food. That awareness isn't about catching yourself doing something wrong. It's about noticing without judgment what's actually happening. For example, instead of thinking, I shouldn't be eating this as you eat it, you might notice, this is the time of day I usually reach for food, when I'm exhausted. Or this is what I do when I feel lonely. Or this is how I cope when I don't know what else to do. That shift from criticism to curiosity changes everything. Because once you understand why a habit exists, you can work with it. You can soften it. You can create alternatives. You can respond differently, not perfectly, but more gently. And the no, I can't have that falls away with the sunset. That's why lasting change rarely comes from adding more rules. It comes from removing shame. Shame makes habits stronger. Awareness loosens them. This is also why so many people feel relief when they stop chasing the perfect plan and start paying attention to themselves instead. The constant pressure eases. The fight quiets, and food slowly stops being the main coping strategy because it's no longer needed in the same way. That doesn't mean you never eat for comfort again. It means you stop being confused about it. And confusion is exhausting. When you understand what's driving your eating, you stop asking, what's wrong with me? And start asking, what do I need right now? That question opens the door to real change. Not overnight change, but sustainable change. Sometimes, because you've buried what's wrong under your food, you've become numb to the why. This is the work we're doing here on Mind Over Muffins. Not adding more information, not talking about dieting, not counting calories or carbs, not demanding more discipline, but creating understanding and a journey into discovery about what's eating you. Because you don't need another list of what to eat. You need a way to work with your habits, your emotions, and your real life without feeling like you're failing every time you're human. In the next video, we'll begin looking at more closely at the emotional side of eating and how food often fills spaces we don't even realize are empty. For now, I want you to remember this. Knowing what to eat was never enough, and it was never meant to be. If it was, 85 to 95% of us would not have gained it all back. You don't need more information from us about what to eat or how to exercise. Gosh, there are enough books or programs out there for you. Just to share a wee bit of information, a wee peek, if you will. This journey I'm taking you on is how I was overweight from a small child and kept on jumping into yo-yo dieting syndrome until I was 38, weighing in at 199.9 pounds. Coming in from a weigh-in, now I'm assuming I had gained some weight. All I remember, since that was many years ago, I was angry. I remember pounding the kitchen table. I felt so useless, helpless, and frustrated. I'm sure you felt that frustration yourself. I'm sure you've asked yourself, why do I lose weight over and over and gain it all again and gathering even more on the way up? It was then I knew it had to be more than dieting. I vowed to myself then and there that I would never go again to these weight loss meetings. I would never again count calories, carbs, portions. And if what I was doing now wasn't working, then I believed it had to have something to do with the mind. So I began to search. More on this journey as we go through a series of these videos. You need a kinder, more honest conversation with yourself. And that's exactly where we're going. Please consider and ponder over what I've shared today. And if you know someone who is also looking for lasting weight loss, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Meanwhile, until the next video, take care, keep smiling. Bye for now.